All right, so we're going to be talking World's Strongest Man group stage today. This was my first professional competition. I walk into the room and I'm sitting next to guys like Luke Stoltman, Brian Shaw, Tom Stoltman, Alexei Novikov, Martins Lisis, and I'm like a kid in a candy store, and you're just trying to hold it together socially, never mind thinking about competing against these guys. And when we're sitting in this room on the first day, we still don't know our groups, and they were released to us shortly after. I knew that I had nothing good to hope for. I came in as a reserve and was given a spot a few weeks before the competition, so I knew if I was going to make the finals, it was going to be an uphill battle. What I did not think is that the uphill battle would be as steep as it was set out to be, in my group being announced as Brian Shaw, Bobby Thompson, Konstantin Janasha, Mark Felix, and Gabriel Pena. I mean, between those guys, Bobby was in the finals last year. Brian was on the podium last year. Konstantin had never missed a finals. Personally, I don't know how on earth that group got made, other than like, let's just throw these guys in the fire and see how we go. But after I got over the initial bit of like, holy shit, these guys are in my group, I started looking at the events and I started sort of analyzing what I thought everyone was capable of. And this is a super strong group, but it's not a particularly fast group. And in terms of my advantages as a strongman, it's in my athleticism and in my speed. So we headed into the loading race, and the biggest consideration for me here was just like, keep it together. Don't do something stupid. Don't drop the cannonball on the ground. Don't trip over your feet. Just like, really basic athletic stuff. And even though it's on a huge stage, as in World's Strongest Man, it's not a big spectator event. So it's not as nerve-wracking as some of the other Giants live shows, because there's only maybe 100 people, 200 people watching. So the loading race, I started off a really good stead. Everything went basically as to plan. I finished the loading race in 38 seconds, and that had me winning my group. And I was 7 seconds clear of Brian, who came second. So at this stage, I knew I was the fastest, and that was all I needed. Next was the deadlift ladder. At this point, I'm still not thinking about winning the group. I'm still hoping that I can just have a good enough performance to get into the stone off. But on analysis, I still do think that I would have won when looking at event by event. But what you can do and what you actually do often are very different things. So deadlift ladder, 5 bars. We thought that everyone in our group was capable of doing all 5. I think Konstantin had a bit of an injury. And since we knew that a lot of people were going to do 5, I thought, you got to go fast. You got to be fast. So first bar, second bar, third bar, and fourth bar, I gripped without straps. Not until the 5th bar did I strap in, and I was 31 seconds to get all 5 bars. Brian only ended up getting 4, and I was side by side with him, which is just an amazing moment in my strongman career, to say that I've done an event side by side with Brian Shaw, regardless of win, tie, or lose. Just having that moment is really, really cool. So I won the deadlift ladder as well. Bobby Thompson came in second with 42 seconds. So again, I was 11 seconds clear of anyone else on the deadlift ladder. And I put myself in fairly good stead moving into the final few events. This took us to the car walk, and yoke events would be my best. And that was borne out in several competitions over the year. But this is my first yoke, per se, that I did at a world's level. And I ended up getting that yoke in 11.6 seconds. I took that event win as well. I was 2.5 seconds ahead of Mark Felix, who came in second. And that was a real moment for me. I think they said no one had won the first 3 events in their rookie year since 1998, something like that, in a very long time. And for me to have done it in my first professional show, I knew that I had a real chance. And if I was precise on the log lift, that I would be able to get through this group and I could start thinking about the finals. So log lift, I go last here alongside Mark Felix. And Mark isn't great overhead, so I knew everyone's results before I actually went up. And Bobby Thompson got 8 reps on the log, Brian Shaw got 7 reps, and Konstantin got 5. I knew I needed at least 6 to put myself in good place. And I got some great advice from Maxime Boudreau, who just said, just pace it. We had 75 seconds, lock it out, drop it, take a step back, take a breath, go, clean it, press it, and just get into a rhythm. And that's exactly what I did. And it was super comfortable. I was really in control. And I ended up getting 7 reps on that as well, tying me for second in the event. At this stage, I had 4.5 points in that event, and I had 22.5 points overall. Second at this stage was Bobby Thompson, and he had 7, 11, he had 18 points. So he needed to pick up 5 points on me on the wrecking ball hold, meaning that he needed to win and I needed to come last for him to catch me and beat me in that tiebreaker. Bobby is not very well known for his grip, and so I wasn't too concerned, on top of the fact that we have Mark Felix in our group. I watched Mark Felix hold the wrecking ball for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and at this stage I thought, okay, we're safe. I watched Bobby go. Bobby had a great time, really good time at 81 seconds, but I didn't need to do anything at this stage to win the group. I had enough of a lead. I basically picked the wrecking ball up. I asked, Tom Stoltman's group had gone before me. I asked what Tom did. I think Tom did 4 seconds. So I picked it up and I did 6 seconds just to beat Tom in an event. And that was that. I won my group. I won it by a fairly good margin. I was 6 points ahead of Brian Shaw, who came second, and a point and a half clear of Bobby Thompson, who lost to Brian Shaw in the stone off. And that meant it set the stage for me to be alongside 4 former World's Strongest Man winners in my first World's Strongest Man appearance. So stay tuned for the finals, but World's Strongest Man group stage could not have gone better. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Keep an eye out for that finals video. If you like it, click the subscribe button, leave a moose dropping, which is the period down below. And if you can, a membership would help me put out more content and support the YouTube channel even more. So thank you very much. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll see you soon.